Hello. I feel like that beginning is so fun and dynamic, and then I'm like, hi.
Welcome to the Bloom Room. We are so excited that we have the fearless tall poppy leader, Ann Garvin, with us tonight. She's USA Today bestseller and one of my very, very, very dear friends who I met at the very beginning of my writing career, and I give her so much credit because without her, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, yay!
I don't really think that's true. I think you would have gone away without me.
It is. She basically said to me, you've made a lot of basic writer mistakes. Here's some websites, go learn, but you can do it.
And then she did it. So that's the difference.
So there, yes. Okay, welcome, Ann. We're so happy to have you here to celebrate the launch of your new book. I thought you said I lost it. I was going to say, I thought you said there'd be cake. And that's the title.
Is that what you say to your husband? I thought you said this would be quick.
This would work. I couldn't remember the last two words.
So we always open the show laughing. For some reason, we barely get out that we're, Amy Riker and Heather Webb, and these are our guests, and we're like laughing. So that's a good sign, I think, right?
That is such a good sign. I'm a little worried that the Bloom people are like, who is it? Oh, it's Ann. We've seen her all week.
Nah.
That happens. That they do that sometimes. All right, should we move into some poppy news?
We should. Poppy news for this week, everyone. So we have Sadika Johnson's Yellow Wife was featured as Best Historical of 2021 by Oprah Magazine, which is very exciting. And Sonali Dev's recipe for Persuasion is $2.99 right now. And then, of course, the big news is that we have Ann Garvin's new book. I thought you said this would work. Yes. I thought you want to eat cake or whatever you said, Amy. No.
I thought you said there'd be cake.
I thought you said there'd be cake.
So we have a poppy launch.
Oh my God, you guys, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
we have a lot of fun with our graphics.
Oh my God, it's so, look at you go. I love it.
And we do need laughter, Carrie. It's so true. I'm glad you're here with us.
Yes,
Carrie. Look who's here.
So what? Oh, Peanut. Oh, your dog is it's a he, isn't it?
It is a he.
He's okay.
The press. See?
Look at his fancy bow tie.
He's such a model. He models all over the internet.
He is a very good.
And he licks you.
Yeah, he does like me, but I do feed him. So there's that. And mostly he's bored. He'll yawn all the way through this. Look at him.
He's like, I'm on camera again.
He's like, I've heard every one of these stories. Get something new.
So speaking of stories, Ann, will you tell us like a quick little ditty about your book? And then we want to hear something fun behind the scenes that you haven't been sharing. Some interesting anecdote, something funny, something random. But you have to tell us what it's about first.
Okay, well, the book's it's a road trip between three friends that have had a falling out, but it was years ago, and neither one of them, they're not really sure what happened, right? One knows, the other one doesn't know. And they have to drive cross country to rescue their best friend's Great Pyrenees from her ex-husband that's across country in California. So I say it's a little bit Thelma and Louise and a little bit Little Miss Sunshine. Like there's a D-list celebrity that gloms on to the ride along cross country with a can't shake, and she makes them go see a shaman, and they end up at the best friend's animal sanctuary, and in between that they figure their stuff out. For the most
I love
part.
everything about that. Animal sanctuary, shaman, D-list celebrity. This sounds hilarious.
So good. I read it months and months ago. but
She
it's
did.
so
She wrote it a while ago. Yeah. I mean, it's for sure my best book because I got really good editing on it for sure. And it was probably the most fun to write. Like I was super relaxed when I was writing it, which was kind of nice. Hi, Pam. I love how the chat shows up in the corner.
Well, we've got Amy, the tech extraordinaire, who just hooked us up. She got us all set up, and now we've got our thing going. We got our mojo.
I mean, I watched one of the earlier ones, I think, and I don't remember quite all of the fireworks.
Yeah.
It's gotten better as the weeks have gone on.
You have, ladies. Look at, I'm about halfway through the book. Thank you. Oh, God. Isn't it a trip, you guys, that like you get like authors 100 years ago were like, I hope somebody's reading my books, and then they wandered to the A&P, Whereas we're like, I think I'll see if anybody's reading my book, and there it all is, right in front. It's such a gift.
It is. It is.
They say
like it.
about it. Yeah, unless they say something bad about your book, which is also in my head while I'm writing the next one. And after listening to you last night, reading from your new book, I have to have it. Oh, I read I didn't read the whole first chapter. I just read a section of it last night, because I'm hosting Bloom. And
you are.
Yeah, I'm not that great at it.
That's super not true.
No,
you're a delight to watch.
You're so cute and nice. You guys are so cute and nice. Look at Peanut. Look at Peanut right now. He's like, I'm not even look at you guys. He's like, I'm not even looking at you two. No.
Peanut.
No, Peanut. Peanut looks different from the one in
watch the dog.
That's the dog, and I thought you said this would work, is a big, huge, white, drooly, hairy Great Pyrenees. And whenever anybody says, like, did you name him after your dog? And I'm like, I put Peanut in there as a placekeeper, and then I forgot. But then it was funny because he's a big dog named Peanut when I thought, oh, that's okay. I'll leave that in there. And it's an homage to Peanut. But, like, it was really unimaginative going on right there. It was a little unimaginative.
Very, very funny.
Yeah. So, what do you want? A random, do you want my story about what I bought when I was drunk now?
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Tell us something about the book. Like, how did you put it together? Was there some random thing that happened that you didn't expect? Or
yeah, I think the coolest thing is that when I pitched this book, with an outline to the publisher and they bought it, Summer Silva, the D-list celebrity, was not in the book. And so she legitimately, when my character is in the airplane sleeping, a woman next to her goes, she slept the entire flight, like so loud and judgy. And that's when Summer was born. I thought, you know what? I'm turning her into a character. But she wasn't, I had no plans for her. But you know what I was thinking is that nobody wants to sit in a car with two fighting women.
No.
2,000 miles.
Or kids.
Yeah. Or, it's going to be fighting and, that's not cool.
No.
And it certainly isn't funny. So, so then I wrote this funny sort of aging celebrity that is not really based on anybody, but just all of the D-list celebrities that all sort of merged together.
This makes me think of, what's her name on Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
Moira.
Yeah. You know what? She's a little bit like Alexis and a little like Moira. She's like full of herself. And she was always turning on the characters. Like one minute she was sort of on Holly's side. The next minute she was on Samantha's side. You never knew whose side she was going to be on.
Yes.
So, yeah, she snuck in the book just like she snuck on the cross-country. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I downloaded it in audio, so I'm excited. I haven't started it yet, but it's in my queue. So
okay, so I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but not so embarrassed that I'm not going to tell the world. And if it's fine, right? We only have 2,000 people in our group. Let them all know. But so I'm not very good at celebrating when a book comes out. Like I don't know what to do with myself. That day, I have another book that's due like really soon. My house was a mess because I was in LA writing, and then I came home and my daughter, the muskrat, was living in there. And so my house looked like it was tipped over, and I thought, I got to do something fun. And she was like, Mom, I'm leaving. I'm like, ugh. So I listened to the book. I listened, not to the whole thing, but on my launch day, I listened to the narrator read the book. And I think every author should do that. It is the greatest thing. Really?
I can't. I listened to it for like I just wanted to hear the new.
Yeah.
The narrator who does.
You don't like it?
No, it's so. It makes me cringe because I'm like, oh, that's what I wrote.
Oh my God. I love listening to somebody else read it. I feel like, does that make me vain? I don't know.
No.
I remember like none of it though. I'll like, that was kind of a good sentence. I don't remember writing that. But then on the other hand, I'll be like, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Like Ann.
Yeah. I do think the woman that they have narrating Kindred Spirits is amazing. Oh,
they're so gifted.
They're so gifted.
I feel like it adds such a different dimension to the story. So it's almost, so you have the book and then you have the audiobook and then you have like a stage play or a film or something, there's sort of these levels of visual interpretation. Yeah. And that audiobook level, I'm always amazed that I feel like my books always sound better in audio than they do when you read them in print. I mean, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's because the actors are great and they bring something to it. I don't know, but yeah.
I would probably be really weird if there was a film of one of my books too. I'd be like, oh. So
I think they change it so much that you might be like, oh my God. But
that's not my book.
When they don't pronounce something right, then it's a little cringy. Like she didn't know how to say Jägermeister.
Oh.
And there's a couple of other little things that I mentioned chi-square analysis, which is a statistical thing. Like, why would anyone know that? And she called chi-square, which
I'm also a little bit like, this book is getting weirder and weirder. We have chi-square analysis, and we have Jägermeister.
I know.
And we have the shaman, and we...
I know. It's like, it takes my entire life. It's like shook up in my brain and then comes out on the page. And
it's a little bit like The Dude. Makes me think of The Big Lebowski a tiny bit, where it's super random, and there's just all these random, interesting characters. And what is that movie even about? I don't even know what the movie's about. He smokes pot. Bowling. That's about it.
Yeah, because isn't that
it's such a dude movie?
It's so great, though. I love it.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's a good one. I mean, I don't know how it has aged. Maybe it's aged poorly, but
yeah, I don't know.
We made our kids watch Pretty in Pink. That did not age well.
Cool.
You guys, neither does Pretty Woman, because she's a prostitute, and we were all like, shh, like back in the day, But now, so cringy.
Yeah. Well,
okay, sorry, that's an interesting sidetrack.
Yeah.
No, but was this last, who was I talking to about Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that, were we talking about that? Yeah. And I watched it with my 14-year-old and she was like, Mom, this is so inappropriate. How did he do this and that? And why did she say that? And I just was like,
you're right.
You guys, when my daughter was pretty young, I thought it would be fun to have her watch on her birthday, which was around Halloween, the original Carrie.
No!
Do you know how much Bush is in that show? Like, a lot.
No! Yeah. Garden Center is what you're telling me?
Right in the beginning is a big shower scene.
Yeah, there is.
All naked ladies and Bush. And I mean, and it was a birthday party, and there were boys there too.
How am I in my 40s and I'm laughing this hard at that? Right. I already know what that is, and I'm still laughing.
It's so funny. And then later on, like 3 years after that, one of the boys came up to me, and it was graduation, and he said, "Hey, Mrs. Garvin, remember when you had us over for the porno?" I'm like, I was like, Colin, no,
it was Carrie. Oh, that's so good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Big doesn't age well either, because he's got he's like a young boy in a grown-up body, and he makes out with this woman. You're like, I don't and I think they sleep together. Like, it's so cringy now.
Yes. A movie that did age really well is yay! Listening to it. We watched Real Genius with them, which is why we're like, ooh, this 80s movie thing is a great idea.
Yeah.
If you have not seen Real Genius, it's with Val Kilmer. It's freaking amazing.
Is it?
It is. It's great. It's one of the, so it's like a prodigy goes to some like Caltech or whatever.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer is the senior, wonderful, brilliant guy. And just antics ensue. There's so much fun. It's hilarious. It's smart people. It's thoughtful. It's just excellent.
Oh, good to know. I'll watch that.
Check it out.
Majors into Real Genius. What?
I said we'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's your 80s movie recommendation.
Flashback. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And one of the things we talked about for the theme tonight was something that you actually wanted to bring up. And I think this is not an uncommon occurrence since COVID lockdown. And you were like, it has to be this. We got to talk about this because this is, what's going on.
Well, and you know who wanted to talk about this with us is Christy Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
she was like, I want to do that too. I don't know what happened, but somehow or another she ended up, I don't know, maybe she got busy because she's probably doing a million things because of her launch. But yeah, so I wanted, because you were like, we got to talk about something other than books. What should we talk about? I said, I think we should talk about the things that we buy when we're a little half in the bag at night on Amazon. And I was, so you know that I don't drink very much. You probably both know that I don't drink very much. And if I do have a drink, like it's the timer starts ticking and it's almost bedtime for me. So I must have been that moment, where you've had a sip, you're like, this is good. And the computer was open and I fell on the keys and then fell asleep. Like that's literally how it must have happened. I had the sweet spot where I was still able to put my credit card in my phone before falling asleep. So I like almost don't remember doing it because when it came, I was like, what? So here's what it is. Did I tell you what this is yet?
No.
Okay,
So
wait till you hear it.
we want to know what you're buying when you're drunk online.
Well, you will die because it's so bad. I bought this thing. It's a video game that you play on you plug it into your phone. And it has a bare long string on it, and it's got like a bag on it. It's for exercising your kegels. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes. You put it up your lady part. Uh-huh. And then you can do like things on it. Like you can make a race car go.
So you just attach it. You attach it.
You put it into your lady part. It runs on I think it attaches here, or either that or it runs on Bluetooth. Like, isn't that funny? My vagina toy runs on Bluetooth. It's not like, it's just for my muscles. But here's the thing. I've never used it. Let's just be clear. I haven't even plugged it in. It's fuchsia. It's fuchsia. And it's not huge. Like I was going to bring it down, but I thought, it's almost better if I just describe it. And when I opened up the box, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, what is this? And I put it over, it's like, it tells you how to exercise your kegels. And I was like, when did I think my kegels were weak? B, what in the world? How did I find it? Was I reading an article? Like, was I like
who advertised it to you?
Like, I'm like drinking my wine, and I'm like, there's an article on kegels. Let's read up.
Oh my gosh!
Like what? And I bought it.
This is my favorite story ever.
I need to know. So what do you feel about regifting?
Well, if we had a PoppyCon.
We were supposed to have a PoppyCon.
Well, we will. We have to have one because it's the only thing that keeps us really happy and together. But yeah, I'll bring that. It is so funny. I just can't remember. Like, I must have read an article and it was like, click on this link to save your Kegels. And I was like, save my Kegels? Okay. And then yeah, it does sound like Summer would give to Samantha. Why didn't I think of that? They could have used it. She could have done it in the car, except I'm not sure. Maybe my publisher would be like, I think you need to take this part out. Isn't that funny?
That's hysterical. So my item that I bought after a couple glasses of wine is not nearly as interesting as yours, but it is random, and I have to, in fact, okay, there we go. I have to do a little mood lighting change so you can even see it.
Mine should have had a little moonlighting.
It goes.
Wow! It's a moon lamp.
That's so pretty.
But what? Why?
Why?
Why do I have this?
I don't know.
And you can.
It
changes some color, and I'm not even. I literally just plugged it in for the first time like 5 minutes ago.
You know what though? It's pretty.
It's cool. And you can, and it is actually quite bright. If your lights are off, like, you know, most of your lights are off, you can actually see it.
I want to
use it for mood lighting.
Don't you want to see the thought process where you said, yes. click, yes, buy it. Yep, no, that's fine. Yes, click. Like, how many times do you have to click to buy that?
You had to put your address in.
Yeah.
Like too many times. Like enough times for me to go, this needs to not happen. I don't need to spend
a great idea. This
$30
is fun,
on
right?
this.
That is so effing funny.
I
also
on the moon because I deserve the moon.
Oh, I texted Amy too at one point when we had just started the Bloom Room, and I was like, we're stuck doing virtual stuff, and sometimes let's make it fun. Amy's like, let's make it fun.
Then you're like, I'm gonna buy a moon.
Well, no, I said, okay, I have $500, $300 worth of giant earrings in my shopping cart, my Macy's shopping cart that I'm gonna buy for the Bloom Room. And she sent me all these laughing faces, and she's like, have you had any wine? I'm like, oh yes.
I have.
So I ended up returning, like I deleted the cart. I saved it. Like I had enough awareness that I said, that's kind of a lot for earrings. So I'll save it for tomorrow. And if I still really want all these, then I'll buy them. Next day I just closed the window, right? And then I went to a store, like a little gift shop store that's got all locally made stuff, and I spent like $200 on earrings there instead. So I think what it is COVID syndrome, right? Where you're just like, you know?
Yeah, I apparently wanted to exercise my muscles.
What else are you going to do? You're stuck at home. You may as well work on your Kegels.
Yes.
I probably had the idea that it would increase my inner metabolism or something. Who knows? What do I even need to use them for? Yeah, you could use the moon for that. Although I think that if you're using the moon lamp for your Kegel exercises, I think you need a little more of a stitch before you get there, because that is one big moon.
Yes. True. Very true.
Amy, what did you
go off buying stuff?
So I do not. I'm smart enough to not shop and drink, but I do have to believe you. It is May the 4th. So I have something that I need to just share with the world so that they can appreciate.
She's smart enough not to shop, but look at that.
I know. This was a Christmas gift from my family because they know me. So they got little baby Yodas, one with his little frog.
Oh my God. What's
He's got a frog in his mouth?
He's got a frog in his mouth. If you watch The Mandalorian, there's an episode where it's great because he's this adorable little creature, but then he eats frogs and other things. So he's just a little creepy. It's just a wonderful balance. So yes, little baby. So that's my.
It's just a wonderful balance.
It is wonderful balance. Yeah. I think I luckily stay away from shopping at night because I really do drink, and I don't know what got into me that night. Like I said, I wasn't sure whether, because the other thing is it could have been the night, if it's very possible it was the night that my daughter and I were staying at my friend's house, and instead of taking my estrogen, I took my daughter's Adderall. Oops.
Oh.
at 10 o'clock at night. And then
Ooh.
like an hour, like up literally about an hour later, I was like, zing!
I'm sure it was the Adderall. It had to have been.
And that's maybe when I bought the Kegel thing. I'm not positive.
Because you were just flying so high, you wanted to work every muscle.
I have a blog on that night and everything I did. Because it's called Last Night I Had a Party in My Bed. Because I took Adderall. And so it is there. It is somewhere in my blog. Last night I had a party in my bed.
Oh my God, that's good.
You are hilarious.
I confess it all because you know what? I really want everybody to just feel better about themselves.
Yes.
I mean, you know how you feel like, you know, the jealousy you get when you see people that are like really accomplished, but you don't really know what it took to get them there and they don't tell you because they want you to envy them. That's not me.
You don't want anyone to envy you.
No, I just want people to know that you can be a shit show and still get things done and it's all good. It's fine.
And I appreciate that.
You're not a shit show, by the way.
Well, sometimes I am a little bit one.
Oh
Do
my
you have
God.
book recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Oh, you'll laugh. Ready?
Yes.
You first.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just me.
Oh, yes. Excellent choice.
It just came in the mail, but look at the title on this next one I have to show you. And I love it. And I'm so sorry that this isn't my book. And it's called Your Second Life Begins When You Realize You Only Have One.
Oh. Who wrote that? That is a very long title.
Yeah,
long.
it is. It's very, yes. Raphael Giardino. It's the #1 French bestseller. Nearly 3 million copies sold worldwide. So
Wow.
It's a translation from France. And I don't know where, I just saw it and I thought, good lesson, Anne.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book yet, but
It looks tiny. Is it tiny?
super tiny. It's
Okay.
really tiny. Look at it compared to your book.
Look at yes.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
it's like a mini self-help book, sort of ish.
Yeah, but I think it's a novel.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know because that title is intriguing.
I
And
know.
also, don't we all refer to our books, the titles of our books in shorthand as authors? So, like, what would the shorthand title of that book be?
Second Life.
Second Life.
Maybe? Yeah.
#2.
Second Life. Mine is always, I thought, what's yours?
Mine is actually when it's just I'm talking to myself, I refer to it as duct because
of the ducks.
And because when you type a certain swear word into it comes out duct. And that made me giggle a lot. So that's what it is in my head. But now I just call it Supper Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I'm writing about it, it's the TKSSC.
Oh my God. I know. Katie Moretti does that all the time. I want to kill her because she will text me in nothing but abbreviations. And I'm like, I never know. I never know what she's saying. And I'm always like, Katie.
Well, and then you do talk to text on your phone.
Oh, right.
It's like 50% of the words. So these have to be really great conversations. And I would like them assembled into a book, please. Thank you.
Fair is fair. Like if I'm going to auto do all my thing, then she could do all the abbreviations. It's catchphrase every day. It's
Yeah.
My daughter does that to me. She sends me text messages with like 37, little just letters all next to each other in different rows. There's no abbreviations. There's no punctuation.
No.
There's no
punctuation.
no capitalization at all. I have no idea what's happening. Mom, God, don't you know? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, most people I know use real words.
Yeah.
And we only use
Yeah, I have to say that I am not good at texting. Like I am the worst texter. I'm on the worst on the fly texter. And then often my phone is recording me while I'm having a long conversation with Peanut. And then I'll send that to Julie just for fun. And she'll be like, and then they'll be like, we got to get Mom out of the house. She's dating Peanut now. She's dating him. I'm dating him and my Kegel exercises. That's it right now.
Oh my God.
I'm engaged to one of them. We'll see who. Have a glass of wine and find out which one.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's what happens when you're singles, lady. Don't let this happen to you. Ah,
Oh,
Okay. I'm going to recommend
yeah, recommend one.
The Invisible Husband of
Oh,
Frick
yeah.
Island by Colleen Oakley. This book is so good. It comes out in a couple weeks. The premise is this guy goes to write about this cake festival on Frick Island, and he gets there, and this woman is walking around talking to a man, somebody next to her who she claims is her husband, and the whole town is playing along. So he is very intrigued and decides to start doing some research about it. And it's really interesting. It's funny. It's good. You get the whole cast of quirky characters on this island. So I highly recommend The Invisible Husband of Frick Island. Plus, this cover is just
the cover
It's a
is
great
beyond
cover.
I
gorgeous.
love this cover.
it's a
I'm
great
so
cover.
jealous of that cover.
Yes, I feel like it should be a hardcover. It's such a good cover.
It's so beautiful.
It does look like a hardcover. You're right.
Mhm.
So that's what I recommend. What do you want, Heather? What are you reading?
I am reading something that just showed up in my
Ooh.
mailbox recently.
Oh,
Jill Paul, the collector's daughter, and she writes. It's historical, obviously, but she tends to write. I consider really interesting characters that aren't covered so much. And this, it's Evelyn Herbert, who was the woman who took the first step into King Tut's tomb when it was opened.
Tutankhamun. Sorry.
Yeah,
We were
right.
learning how to say King Tutankhamun before this thing.
She put on this. Amy put on this. Where it reads the pronunciation,
Yeah.
and it sounded like, is it Vincent Price from Thriller, like that King Tutankhamun or whatever it was.
King Tutankhamun. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It was really funny. So we decided to go with King Tut, and then I just couldn't control myself at this right now.
do you remember Steve Martin's King Tut song?
King Tut.
Yeah,
I have not
Lawrence
seen that.
Llama or something.
That's how old I am, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the book. It's yeah. Did I talk enough about it? So she lived in the real Downton Abbey, this woman.
Oh, really?
Which is really cool. Yeah, Highclere Castle. And then it's also about the after effects of the curse of the pharaoh. So
Really?
I'm like, give me some of that. I like all of those
They're
details.
also different. That's a lot of really good different stuff.
Yeah. So I'm excited to dig into that.
Yeah.
So,
So
All
are
right,
you guys
ladies.
both? Do you have both books? Are you both on book? You are. No, did you get your book in, Heather?
no. So my book, well, it's due next Friday, but I got an extension.
I got an extension too.
COVID and family drama. Yeah, so it's due end of next June.
What's
Not next June, like as in this June.
coming
as in
June.
next month.
What's the name of it?
I can't tell you or I'll have to kill you.
Oh,
Actually, it's I really don't have a title for it, and the topic hasn't been. We haven't announced it in Publishers Weekly yet, even though we sold it a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But it pretty soon, probably by fall, we'll announce it. There's just also the other books coming out, and we don't need to confuse people and all that stuff. So,
Amy,
I'll tell you later.
do you have one?
I do have another book that I also have a deadline extension for. It is also due on, yes, you are correct. Frick Island does not have a woman's back on it. I agree. It is also due the end of June.
God, you guys.
At this point, I can tell you more about it later, but at this point, all I'm saying is it is a Christmas book set in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So,
My book is due May 24th.
okay.
It's called Falling in Love is the Easy Part.
Oh, that's a great
Oh, that is a good title. You always have good titles. That's a good one.
It's about, it's about three different women, 3 generations who bond on an airplane together. And then they go into New York City with very clear thoughts about what they're going to be doing and seeing there. And then they end up in the middle of a blackout.
Do they go to TJ Maxx?
They don't go to TJ Maxx, but one of them goes thrifting. So yes. And Yeah, and and I wrote 3 Point of View. I'm never doing that again. Kill me for that. What the heck? Never.
So that's my next book. I'm working on that. So I'm so glad you gave me the.
Never. I'm never doing that again. You cannot write 3 points of view and have a book out a year. You can't. It's too hard.
No. I already can't. Like my books already they overlap. It looks like I have a book out a year, but they really, the one that comes out in February was 3.5 years in the making.
So hard, you guys.
I shouldn't say that. Kindred Spirits has 3 points of view. It's mostly Ray and Sabrina, but there's a little bit of Ghost Molly.
Oh, but 3 points of view where they each have their own voice? Ah!
Well, I write third person, so I don't feel like it needs to be quite so distinct. I mean, it needs to, like, so really it's about the dialogue is the big part.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's close third person.
Mine are
and the kids.
3 arcs with 3. Everybody gets a different chapter. Don't ever do that.
Oh, I did. That was Optimist.
Oh,
and I wrote that book start to finish, included all the way from idea to copy edits in 6 months.
No,
I don't remember. And then I read it before it came out because I couldn't remember. And
yeah, that's what I'm doing. I can't. It's horrible. No, you guys, it's horrible.
Okay,
the covers of that book.
What?
The covers of that book. How many covers you went through for
Oh
Optimus?
my gosh.
I wish you could show those. You say
there is one that was the first cover, which was was a spoon dipping into a glass jar full of yogurt, and it was like pulling the yogurt up, and the yogurt had like a big drip coming off the bottom. It looked like something that was very appropriate.
We know what it looked like.
So that was
a jar of it.
Yes. My editor loved it, but she didn't see it that way right off the bat. And then I told her, she's like, "Yeah, I can't unsee it now."
No,
I'm like, "No, you can't."
No, I remember that. It was a very pretty cover. I'll give it that. Like they were all very pretty.
Yeah,
it's so funny. I was like, oh.
And then there was the almost cover.
The spoon one. I loved that one.
I thought that was beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I don't remember why they switched it. I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but that's a beautiful cover.
I loved that one. I like what you ended up with too, but that was yeah.
Yeah, I love that too.
That's also beautiful.
And I think they went with that because it's like a Bianchi, which is a flower crown that was in the thing. But I did make 500 bookmarks.
Of course you did. Of course.
So you may, if you buy a book from Books and Company, you might get one of these.
That is so funny.
Special collector's edition.
All right, you ladies, we have run over time because we are just having so much fun.
Okay.
But thanks for coming, Ann Garvin.
So much fun. I love it. Thank you so much for doing this, especially on my Bloom Week.
Yes. Well,
congratulations on your launch.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations. And next week, we are very excited. We will be having on the dynamic duo, Christina Lauren. So excited! A million years. So this is we're so excited to have them, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. I had so much fun. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for coming.